business of retail as part of the business retail world conversation series. Today we have a very, very successful tech entrepreneur with us. So Satya is the founder and CEO for Sulekha.com. Sulekha.com needs no introduction. Satya needs no introduction. But still, I would like to, tell briefly about Satya. Coming from a small town, he did his engineering from NIT Trichapalli, and then worked with some corporates in India. And then he was, he managed to get himself his admission in all existing IIMs that time. He bagged all the seats, but he left it and then went to US for his higher education in masters in computer science. There, then he worked with very renowned companies like Honeywell and AT&T, and then the entrepreneur bug hit him, and he started Sulekha.com with his wife. So that's how his entrepreneur journey started, and it's been more than. He started in 2006 in India, so you can imagine how long those were early days of the internet. And Sulekha.com was one of the first internet companies in the country, and today also it is thriving and doing wonderfully well. So Satya has managed to do a brilliant work. He's a writer, he's an author, he's an entrepreneur, all rolled into one. I'm very, very happy and privileged to have Satya with us today.
Thank you very much, Ved, and you're being I think exaggerated in your description. I was very, very successful. So other than that, I thank you very much for this opportunity to speak with you and speak with your audience, which is very vast. And it is our fortune that you feel that we are worthy of some attention. Thank you.
No, that's your humbleness. That's your humility. We'll start with the first question, Satya. Coming from such a humble background, from a small town in Andhra Pradesh, you went on to do some wonderful work at large international companies in the US, and then starting your own venture, sustaining it, surviving it for so long, managing to raise funds. What do you think is the key personality trait which brought you here, which you kept on going and keep on succeeding in and overcoming all your challenges?
Yeah, this is not a wisdom I had before, but this is the wisdom I have cultivated over time, which is that the world is an contradictory place. Contradictory in the sense, simultaneously it is a harsh world, and simultaneously it's also a very kind world that we live in. It seems like if you are able to add value to the marketplace, and if you bring along with it enthusiasm, persistence, hard work, and ownership, I think the world, and you are constantly adding value, and you are being faithful to the organization, people, the world sometimes conspires to help you, right? But the opposite is also true, in the sense, if you don't add value, I think the world is a very harsh place. So the focus for all of us ought to be that to not worry too much about what has gone past, but what is it we can do today to invest in our self of tomorrow and the organization of tomorrow, and continue to work like a dog. I think that is the key to this one, and with enthusiasm, right? I mean, if you think work is a chore, then you won't go far. You got to have some curiosity every day. The mind of a beginner is quite essential for entrepreneurs to succeed, because it is a very difficult life because every morning you wake up, there are problems and there are opportunities, and both of them require time, attention, focus, and you have only limited time in a day, and that's really the challenge of the thing. Is it's a very difficult life, and many entrepreneurs, unfortunately, don't have much to show for it, right? And awful things happen, good things also happen, but to be able to balance both of them, I keep saying that you got to be a good Hindu to be a good entrepreneur. I mean it in a facetious manner. What I mean is that in the Hindu philosophy, we say that you got to have equanimity, right? Sthita prajna, as they call it, some ability to handle failure and success with equal thing, and not get too hassled, not too elated, but to continue working hard because you're always swimming upstream. The river is flowing this way, entrepreneurship, you're trying to swim upstream, and you can't never stop swimming. So that's a long answer to your short question.
You know, my next question is that, success means different things to different people, right? What
Yeah.
does success means to Satya?
Success is to create value, and that value to be recognized, and then to build an organization that will multiply that value, and for that multiplied value to get amplified recognition, and for all parties in the value to gain from that. I think in entrepreneurship, in you can't spin it any other way, in the sense that enterprise has to create value, and that value has to be recognized by the investors on the street, for which they're willing to buy into that. I think that is the definition of success. Anything else, I feel that is not being truthful.
Yeah, so the ability to create value and keep on enhancing it and distributing it.
And create value that is recognized on the outside, right?
Correct.
Because either when you're creating a business, or when you are being entrepreneur, when you're a business manager or an entrepreneur, when you're a business manager, you need to create a product that is valued by people on the outside, and people are willing to pay for it. For entrepreneurship is to cultivate an idea that an investors initially, it is typically tend to be VCs and private equity investors. They need to see value in the idea, and your personality and your conviction, they should buy into that and say, okay, this guy or this gal can prosecute this opportunity and create value out of this. They must buy into that concept, into the dream, and invest money into that, right? Then once you have built the business, and when you go out, the investors on the street must be able to see the value and buy into that. So at every point, it is a challenge of creating something that people are willing to pay for. I think
Correct.
the more you can do that, the more sustainably you can do that, and more you can do that so that all parties to that particular enterprise gain from that. That is success.
Wonderful, wonderful. So value driven success. Success is value driven. Okay, so because this show is all about business, and
Yeah.
especially business of retail. So we will come to the business of retail later. First, having such a rich and long experience in entrepreneurship and running and maintaining and sustaining and thriving a business. To our audience, what do you think is few key characteristics of running a successful business?
Sure. I think that's a simple question, Ved, that you have asked, but is a very difficult one to answer. But I'll try to answer it in an equally simple manner, which is that the successful business is one that can maximize one ratio, and only one ratio, which is what they call LTV over CAC. LTV over CAC means that whether you are a vendor who is selling actually either samosas or momos on the street, or you are an internet company like us, or any other things. The CAC is customer acquisition cost. What does it cost for you to acquire a paying customer? That is one ratio. LTV is, having acquired that customer, what is the lifetime value of that customer to the business, right? I mean, if you run a restaurant, if you, let's say you advertise in the newspaper, in the local newspaper, spend, let's say 20,000 rupees to eat again, you're likely losing money on the transaction, right? So the key is to how do you reduce the cost of acquisition of customers and how do you increase the lifetime value? So that means you got to have a product that is alluring, that is value adding, that is addictive, right? All these things are there. For example, I'll tell you a small example. There's one store in Kolkata called actually Balram Malik, and they make Mishti Doi, right? And I'm a big fan of Mishti Doi. I'm not a big fan of sweets, but I'm a fan of that particular sweet. And trust me, Ved, I have eaten Mishti Doi in some places. Nobody makes it like that guy, which is Balram Malik in Kolkata. Because I love product so much, you won't believe it. And their Mishti Doi, at least about 70 people, right? Now, for them, for Balram Malik, my lifetime value is tremendous. Because I went and repeatedly bought again and again and again, 70 times. Not only I've given it, I have sent it as gift to my friends. And I'll tell you, it's not that expensive. If you buy it in the store in Calcutta, it's about 250 rupees. But if you get it shipped across the country, it's 450 rupees. But I will tell you, the joy that gives to people to whom you send it as a gift is off the charts. People just love it, right? And they go and buy it, right? Now, when I have a product that is fantastic and I send it to my friend, and my friend looks at it and say, "Wow, man, this is awesome," and I want to send it to my mom. See, in that moment, your customer acquisition cost for that second buyer is zero.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It is what you call the product-led growth. The product is selling itself. So I think the successful business is we have to create products that sell themselves and that get repeat visits, repeat buying, and people who will refer the product. I think it doesn't matter what business we are in. That is one metric that is, I think, signifies success.
Wonderful. So in
Right?
fact, yeah, you were saying something.
I just bought, I bought my Apple phone in 2008. I mean, 15 years later, I'm continued to buying Apple products.
Got it.
And that's why Apple is such a valuable company.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that, in this answer, you have answered my next question because I was about to ask that, while running Sulekha, you would have dealt with so many retail businesses, and even the new product which we are going to talk about, they're widely valuable for retail businesses also. So I was about to ask that, what takes it to succeed in retail businesses, but you have so rightly put it, simplified way, okay, the lifetime value and the cost of acquiring customer. I just want to add that in the omni-channel era, the local businesses stand to gain in a way that, not only the product you are saying, they can, double up on service, they can develop on the customer loyalty, in the sense that they know what the customer wants, and so would you want to share some examples of how the local shop retailer at the offline level can win in this digital era and the competition it is facing from the e-commerce?
I would say the small to medium business in this digital world faces enormous difficulty, because to see this audience that is looking, the search audience that is looking for business and services, and in India it is a fire, it's an avalanche. Right? We have an estimated 720 crore searches for products and services every month in India.
Wow.
I mean, that's a mind-boggling number.
Yeah.
What has happened is during COVID, there is a seismic shift in the behavior and in the propensity of consumers in the way they search for businesses and products and services, and in the way they want to engage with them. Just complete shift, right? So people today don't look anywhere else but online for products and services. This is it. They don't look anywhere else because everybody is walking around with a phone. The first thing they do is they search, right? Second thing is, so that is where online searching connects with hyperlocal intent to buy, right? Suppose if I have a, let's say my mother or grandmother or somebody who requires a hearing aid, right?
Yeah.
And so I go and search for a hearing aid. Now that is the clearest articulation of somebody who has a need and who wants to buy it locally, right? And is looking.
Yeah.
You cannot find a more lower hanging fruit than that,
Yeah.
because there is purchase intent. Second thing is that person is free of cost. Free of cost is organic, because if you are the lucky business to be featured in that search, you are likely to win the customer. Third one is you are addressable, you are identifiable, and the business can speak with you, right? Business can speak with you, and so on. And that is the key. So the small business, the problem is to maximize your chances of getting discovered by that targeted audience is a complicated process. It's complicated in the sense there are a lot of things you need to do to the profile for your profile to be picked up, to be showcased. That large businesses are having a problem for sure, right? Even though they have the resources to employ people and to partner with agencies to do that, but small to medium business are completely at sea when it comes to interacting this audience, because they just don't know how to maximize, how to optimize their so that it can be discovered. That's the challenge they have. And because it's the search engines also, the search platforms also don't disclose how they feature, right? It's a black box.
Correct.
And usually it is based upon the how relevant the listing is to the search intent. That is the most important. Like if you're looking for shoes, they can't show you a shop that sells actually saris, right? You want to show you shoe shop. Then it has to do with proximity. Then it has to do with authority. Then it has to do with flux of the profile. So all these things are weighted differently and they're showcased. So you need a technically savvy partner on your side to succeed in that effort. That's where the difficulty is.
Yeah, so essentially what I understand is that, and I've been dealing with these, I mean, lot of thousands of small businesses who are having offline presence, and you're right, they're facing this difficulty that how to maximize on the online searches. So, I mean, this leads to, I think, the natural progression of this conversation is that, I would like to bring in my colleague Amisha, who would
Yeah.
want to talk about the new launch you are doing at Sulekha and how that can help the small businesses and the large businesses both. And then
Yeah.
we'll come back to our original conversations.
Sure.
Over to you, Amisha.
Yeah, actually, Ved sir have already asked you about the businesses and how the industries are and what are, he thank you for sharing your wisdom with them, with us, with our audience. So I'll just get right into it because we have already wasted so much time in the internet connection and everything. So just can you tell me how do search engine decide which businesses to showcase to consumer basically?
Yeah. So the search platforms are motivated by one thing, which is that they want to improve the consumer experience for their users, right? So they want to showcase what you call good businesses that are relevant to what the user is looking for. So the first thing is that they want to look for, the first thing that matters the most is whether your listings are relevant to the intent of the person who is searching, right? For example, if you are looking for a salon, and then you may, oddly enough, you're not for a particular hair treatment or something. You're saying that I'm looking for a salon that has a free Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And it's actually true. There's a huge search volume for that, right? Because you said I'm going to spend an hour there, so I want something where they can give a free Wi-Fi, so I am not to use my
Okay, yes.
data. Correct? If that is the search intent, so the search engines would look for salon listings that offer free Wi-Fi. So if you don't understand that there's a search volume for free Wi-Fi salons, then if you don't mention that free Wi-Fi in your profile,
Okay.
you won't get picked up,
Okay.
right? So first thing is whether the listing and the way you describe your business, is it relevant to the search intent of the user? That is the number one.
Okay.
Second one is proximity. How close are you to the location of the user? Third one is authority. Authority means, is this a well-established business?
So, sorry to interrupt. So basically,
Yeah.
you are saying that the customer have to turn on their locations and give, don't you think it's a kind of a privacy breach or something?
No. The search engines know where you're located, where the user is located, right?
Yes, yes.
They don't tell me, the business, where the user is located.
Okay.
But I tell the search engines I am located in this address.
Okay,
So it is the search engine that is doing the mapping.
Okay, all
So
right.
there is no privacy issue there.
Okay.
The third one is authority, in the sense that how well established the business is. Here they look for, have you filled all the aspects of a profile? There are about 50 to 60 variables for every listing. Are they all completed? Then are you, do you have a website? Do you have a phone number? Do you have a social media presence? So there are a lot of factors go into determining whether you are a trustworthy, credible business.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Correct.
And the fourth one has to do with love. Love, love means they want to feature businesses that consumers love,
Okay.
and the businesses love the consumers back.
Yes, definitely,
But
yes.
there are a lot of ratings, reviews, positive ratings, and the business is responding back to them. If somebody complains, the business cares and responds back and takes care of the complaints. So all these factors flow into the search platforms ranking of where you are with respect to others and who they decide whether to feature you or not.
Okay.
So it's as complicated as that.
Okay, that leads to me to the next question. Basically, what type of business should opt for hyperlocal marketing, and why? Basically, how is them, and is there
Yeah.
some kind of business that should opt for this sector, basically?
Sure. See, unless you are an online business where you do not have a physical presence at all, right?
Yes.
If you're if you're an online business, then hyperlocal doesn't matter. If any business where they have a consumer-facing storefront, you have no choice but to optimize, right? So, I mean, how well will people find you?
Exactly.
Because the 720 crore searches that are happening, right?
Yes.
If you are let us say, if you run a salon on MG Road in Bangalore, for example, if there are 8,000 people searching salons on MG Road in Bangalore, you want to be seen by them, right?
Exactly.
So that they will come to you.
Exactly.
So you really it's really no longer a choice. It's just that everybody must optimize it.
Okay. So, see, we know that every marketing department and professionals who are marketing professionals is subjected to ROI measures, basically, especially in the digital space. So, how does a marketing professional justify the cost of such service internally, basically? Can you tell me about that?
So what we have done as part of Sulekha, the companies, we launched a platform called Pro Manage, which is designed to help brands with large retail presence and also SMEs to we help them with both the technology with the distribution. We are one of the few partners of Google and Bing and Facebook in India, right? We have APIs integrated to all these things. Plus, we have built AI software that will help optimize these profiles by telling them what to do, what not to do. So we we help these both SMEs and large enterprises in managing them. We are like an air traffic control for all of the listings across the country.
Okay. Now,
So what?
okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry, go ahead.
no, sure, continue. Sorry.
So the question you asked me was, how do the marketing departments measure the ROI? There are two ways to do that. Okay, suppose before you start optimizing your local hyperlocal listings, for example, and let's say you're getting 1,000 phone calls a month in your store. Now, once you start optimizing it, you get 1,600 phone calls. Now you got a lift of 600 phone calls. The lift, right?
Yeah, correct.
Additional calls, customers calling in. Now you can go back and ask yourself, if I had to spend money to get these 600 additional calls, how much will I have to spend?
Yes.
Right? So usually for let us say for in the salon space, in the personal care, the cost to get an additional action phone call is likely to be between 150 rupees to 200 rupees. So let's say it's 200 rupees.
Okay.
Now 600 times 200, right? It's 1,20,000.
Correct.
That is the one ROI. That is the input ROI.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
That is what you got. That's what you would have had to spend, which you didn't spend, but you're getting it free. The output ROI is, if I had these 600 phone calls, the 600 phone calls resulted, let us say, in 180 new customers who transacted with you. And this each customer acquisition cost typically, let us say, is for you is about 1,500. Now this 180 times 1,500, that's another 2 lakhs. That's another way you can compute ROI. But any which way you do it, because the input cost is zero, because you're not paying anything for it. The media cost is zero. So your return is tend to be very high.
Okay. Thank you for that. Can you tell me, so how do a search engine decide which business to showcase? As you said that proximity is the key for this, or like, can you elaborate?
The four things I mentioned earlier. One is whether the listing is relevant to the search intent of the user.
Okay.
That's number one. Second is proximity. Third one is authority. And last one I mentioned is flux. And there is a lot of action and positive action on the listing, where people are asking questions, people are chatting with you, people are calling you, people are posting reviews. And if you are a business, people love you as a business. And search platforms look for signals of love.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That can be the heading of the interview, I guess. So,
It's actually true. After the proximity and relevance, that is the biggest factor, is that businesses that are liked, loved a lot, get featured.
Okay. So, ratings also, contribute in that. Okay, I get that. Can you tell me any case study of your current who has been benefited from pro manage in their customer base and everything?
We have close to 40 large brands which came which are live on a platform right now. In the last 1 year, they have come. Includes people like Shriram Finance, valuable customer of ours. Then Hinduja Finance is a customer of ours. City Union Bank. Then actually DHL is a customer of ours. We have actually Naturals as a customer of ours. So we have many such ones who have used, right, of the platform.
Okay.
And many of them have seen substantial lift, right, in growing their business, right. And And they also see that many of our clients, they don't just see this as a very tactical way to improve their listings. They're also seeing this end to end, right, as a way to improve their hyper local. I'll just show you one slide if you don't mind. You're able to see this?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah. So they see it, they see it like this, right? Which is first is protect the brand, increase visibility, increase prospects by doing all these things on the right hand side, on the left hand side, right? And then improve user experience, reduce CAC, and increase conversions. And finally, creating repeats, increase referral, improve LTV. So this is how we see this entire Pro Manage platform as helping clients to be able to do this, right?
Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
And the way the four things we do is these things. One is, first of all, to significantly increase engagement actions by improving distribution, by significantly increase the volume and quality of reviews and ratings, by significantly improving the quality of engagement, the digital engagement, by creating what we call unified inbox, and by this integration of all these things together into one hyperlocal thing.
So I'm just gonna finish this from my side. Just one last question. So, what is the vision for Pro Manage? So, what is your goal for this year? And do you think budget has somehow affected you directly or indirectly? It would be great if you can share your.
No, the budget, I think overall, I think it's in our sense, it's a fantastic forward-looking budget. I think there's a lot of investments in infrastructure, a lot of investment in overall improvement of exports and imports. So all of these things could create new business activity, new business being formed. So anytime there's new business activity, it is great for us. So our vision as to Pro Manage is to be the largest and the most valuable SaaS enabler, marketing SaaS enabler for 500 of the largest brands in India and about 50,000 of SMEs for this year. This is for upcoming year. That's our goal. And I think if we do that, I think we'll be very, very successful.
Okay, that is wonderful to hear. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to add one more thing.
Yes,
There are a lot of times the small businesses are helped by small agencies, smaller digital marketing agencies, which are local to each city. We also provide the Pro Manage platform for these agencies to use and to serve their clients, which are local clients who may have five locations, 10 locations like that.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I know that you must be very busy, so I'll just ask Ved sir to continue this with the interview.
Sure.
And thank you so much for answering all the questions so patiently. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Satya.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
Yeah, because these, all our small businesses also struggle to capitalize on these searches and how they bring the online customer to their stores. So that is a big challenge these guys are facing. And if your solution can help, it would be a wonderful thing. So I think it was very insightful in terms of how searches work and what is the way businesses have to attract and acquire customer in the digital era. Now, coming back to coming back to the theme of the conversation. You were the first online classified in a way in 2006 and 7, and you were funded. And suddenly, at that time, there were 30-40 more companies which got funded, by the way. So I'm sure you would have faced a lot of challenges in competition, facing the competition, and then creating value, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So what do you think? How did you manage to overcome these challenges, and secret element which help
I
you?
think it's the same thing with all over the world when it comes to business entrepreneurship and business management. As I said earlier, the two or three traits that are important is one is the flexibility, right? Because the idea with which you start will never be the idea that will work, right? You have to be able to find ways. You should be more like water than like a rock.
Right.
A rock is not a good symbol of success for entrepreneurship. You should be like water, right? The second one is to have actually this uh, persistent tenacity to say, I will fight through storms, right? And give my best every day, whether things are going well or badly. I think that is the key thing, and to genuinely be a fair and generous person to to everybody around you, because eventually, sooner or later, more sooner than later, people see you exactly the way you are, right?
Correct. I
You
completely
can't
agree
you,
there.
you can't fake it for too long.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge is you have to change on the inside who you are, right? And be be value adding to everybody around you, and still you could fail, right? And still, after years and years of work, you may still have nothing to show for it. But that's the game we chose to play, so we can't complain.
Okay, so all the retail businesses and the business owners and the entrepreneurs who are watching us, we are right in the middle of an era where the Gen Zs are talking about and very focused on sustainability, and even post pandemic, it was like we realized that we have to, as corporates, as businesses, we have to be very very conscious of our planet and sustainability. So, what is your thought on that for the businesses who are there for a long haul for next 10, 20 years or maybe more?
I want to be frank with you. I'm not very well informed about sustainability and things like that. So I don't want to hazard an opinion about it. But it is an important issue that we'll face, and I think it is up to the public policy to be formed. And as lawful citizens, we must all be in compliance with whatever is the law says, right? Because not all of us can be activists, nor do we have the thing to do that, right? But we must really lend our support to those people who are effecting policy changes to protect the planet. I think we have to give them all the help that we should give. That's what I think we should do.
Yeah, wonderful. So lately there had been talk of three P's in the corporates, which is profit, people, and purpose. So when
Yeah.
you're running your company, forget about the policy makers. They are doing their job. But as business owners, as corporate leaders, what is your thought on profits, people, and purpose?
I would say that um, I would put purpose, people, and profit. I think that if you have a compelling, an inspiring, value adding purpose to an organization, and you believe in it, and you make everybody else also accept that belief and conviction, and second, you get the right kind of people as part of your team, I think, and you rally towards it and work very hard. Because we a lot of times I think companies mistake that people want an easy life. I don't think people are asking for an easy life. People want to be better. People want to accomplish. People want to succeed. People want to improve themselves and to feel confident and good about themselves of having achieved something awesome. I think that's what people look for, or at least you should look for people who are looking for that, right?
Uh,
And because you have really, I am not a, I'm an agnostic of sorts. I think we have one life to live, and you got to make it count for something, right? Where you can look back upon it and feel, okay, I did everything I can. I enjoyed myself. I worked like very hard, and I was creative, and I was kind, and I was happy, and it's a good life, right? Typically, those things are also correlated with success in terms of finances and status and power. Correlated means there's a probabilistic likelihood, but not a deterministic certainty, right?
Got it.
So 80% of the time, if you do those things, you do the well. And if you do those things, I think profits will happen, right? I don't think in life, both companies and people, human beings, ever get wealth by wanting wealth. We get wealth by creating value, right? And we must stay focused on that. And but it's always great to have a vision, a purpose that says that I am going to help my clients succeed through me, right? I am
Wonderful.
going to do that, and that will help them create employment or whatever drives you. I think if you have an inspiring purpose, and if you get people who can rally around, who have the capacity for hard work and enthusiasm, right? Which is what I keep saying to all of my colleagues, and keep saying to myself. I wake up on Sunday mornings at 4 o'clock. I don't need to, but I wake up at 4 o'clock on Sunday mornings, right? Because Sunday is a label you put on another day, just as another, right? So I said that be very selfish, because if you look around the room, different people are paid different sums of money. Why is that? He paid different sums of money because each of them is bringing a different quantum of value to the marketplace.
Correct.
And what is your value dependent upon? The value is dependent upon your skills. And who is responsible for your skills? It can't be a mom, right? And your wife is not, she can't help you build your skills, right? Right? There's an Urdu saying, if I may repeat it. It says, "Kafile saath aur safar tanha," right? Which is that you are moving with the crowd, but you are traveling alone. Kafile saath aur safar tanha, right? Because you are only responsible for yourself. Nobody can help you. So I tell these guys, you should really work like a dog, right? Don't worry about Sunday being a recreation day. Really, really work very hard and develop your skills, not for the company, but for yourself.
Correct.
Because you take those skills with you, and wherever you go, even here next year, right? You are being valued based on your skills, and that nobody can help you.
Wonderful. So what a conversation, Satya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
The retail leader should take this take away from this purpose-driven work and purpose-driven organization. So wishing you all the best for your target of helping large corporates and these SMEs pro-manage, and look forward to having these conversations with you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ved. Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you.
Sir. Very nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.